Michkov has been on an absolute tear. I want to get there in a little bit. It is funny to see the anti-Michkov bias, though, across the league.
Oh, Celebrini. We like Celebrini. He's having a great season.
They essentially, the Canadian media, essentially crowned Celebrini as the Calder winner at the beginning of the season. And Michkov has put together a season that has been staggering. He's put together one of the best overall stat lines, right? And if you zoom out at it from a macro level, games played versus minutes played, Michkov, by virtue of getting scratched and benched so many times, has only played, I think, as of last night, it was like he'd played 9 more minutes total than Celebrini. Because some people like to point out, oh, well, Celebrini missed time with injury, which is true and is fair. But if you look at the minutes played, it was like a difference of 9 minutes. Again, because Torts like to have Michkov in and out of the lineup, like to scratch him, like to not play him a lot. And now that Brad Shaw's essentially said, oh, Matvei Michkov is he's our best player. He's certainly our highest skilled player right now and probably our best performing forward on this team. Yeah, I'm going to play the guy. I'm going to play him more than like 10 or 12 minutes a game. Over his last 5 games, Michkov is up to 9 points in his last 5 games, including 4 goals. He's gone back-to-back games with 2 goals apiece against both Montreal and Buffalo at home. And he also has 5 assists to go with it. I mean, like, look, I'm not a hockey savant here, all right? But one could assume that if you play your best player more minutes in a game, it stands to reason that he may or may not perform and put up points in games. So if we just look at the last 5 games, because again, I like to focus on those last 5, and yes, Torts was here for a few of them. The minutes per game, the time on ice has increased. Against Dallas on the 22nd, just over 15 minutes. That jumped to about 16 and a half minutes and 16 minutes and 46 seconds over the next 2. That included the Toronto game. That ultimately, the comments that may have led to the guillotine coming down on Torts. Brad Shaw takes over against Montreal, right? Michkov plays 20 minutes and 29 seconds. Scores 2 goals. Follows that one up with 19 minutes and 59 seconds. We're going to round that sucker up to 20. So 2 games that Brad Shaw has coached this team, Michkov has played 20 minutes per game, roughly. And if you take the average, it's technically above 20 minutes. Who'd have seen that coming? You play the guy more, he's going to rack up points. That is also the thing about the Celebrini argument, right? Because what some people like to go back to is, he's played fewer games, and so it's more impressive. And then you get some people who say, well, go by points per 60, right? Take the entire point total based on the amount of minutes played, divide it up, and you'll see that Michkov is still a better overall player on a points per 60-minute basis than Celebrini is. I mean, listen, if Michkov were playing as many minutes in his games as Celebrini has, it stands to reason Michkov would have more points. My whole thing is this, right? I said this over the weekend. I pissed off some of the Tortsaholics who were fucking weird. They think I'm weird because I just didn't enjoy the John Tortorella experience. They continue to glaze this guy now that he's gone. Bless their hearts, because once, John Tortorella, I don't know where he's going to land or what he's going to do, but I assume that those people are going to light their Flyers jerseys on fire, and they're going to go become Torts sycophants wherever he goes. That's my guess. So here's the thing. I said over the weekend that going into the season, I think the over-under on Michkov points was 62. That seems to stand out in my head. 62 points, I think, was the over-under going into the season. And I thought in my heart of hearts that like 80 points could be in reach. I knew that was insane for a rookie, but I was like, 80 points could very well be in play because he was going to play on the power play a lot. And ultimately, he was one of the most skilled players, even though it was his first year in the league. And even though he was entering his rookie season as a 19-year-old, it's like 80 points as like a high mark, right? I didn't expect him to like hit 80 comfortably and then like go above. It was like 80 was kind of like the pie in the sky. I tweeted over the weekend that had it not been for some Torts fuckery, he probably would have been a lot closer to 80 points by the end of the season. And then you get some of these like weird Torts sycophants and they're like,
Oh, you idiot. You realize that means you're saying that Torts cost him 10 or 15 points.
it's like, well, I will just very calmly point out the fact that he's been a nearly 2-point per game player over his last 5. And since John Tortorella's dismissal, he's gone well over that. He has 5 points in his last 2 games. Stands to reason here that even if he were to, wrap up the season at a point per game, right, and they have 9 games left, add another 9 points, you're at 65. You take a couple of scratches away, you take away a couple of those long benchings away, he's probably closer to 72, maybe 73. Now, if he goes on a nice little tear here, that 80-point mark that I'm talking about, so if you want to say it's a 5 or 6 point variance with Torts, I think it's a little bit higher, but if you want to say 5 or 6, all right, fine. He would have gotten close to 80. He won't get close to 80 now. He will pretty easily cross 60. I wouldn't be surprised if over the next few games he flirts with 70. He'll probably end up with, I don't know, does he end up with like 65 points, 66 points at the end of his rookie season? It's entirely plausible. But this is the whole thing again. Like, I don't know why some of these weird people get really upset. They defend Torts to the bitter end. And again, I hope that wherever he lands next, they can maybe get a little Torts jersey. They can build what I actually imagine some of these people are like. Because there are people who don't follow me on Twitter, but every time they see a Torts tweet, it's almost like they're a bot. They hop in, they say something negative. And what I imagine these people do is I have to imagine that they have like something in their house for Torts. They have like something dedicated to him. And then I thought about it and I was like, oh, I know exactly what this is. If you think about it, I'm pretty sure that if we had to, I don't know, go out of our way to compare it to something and maybe a 90s reference that some of the wonderful people in the comments would understand, I'm actually going to throw it out to it. I assume that some of these people that are just very, very into John Tortorella, they probably have something like this in their closet. Like they pull back the clothes, they pull back the curtain, and it's like Helga Pataki had the Hey Arnold. Remember? Helga Pataki, we all know. She had the Arnold shrine, and she'd like take the piece of gum that he like put under a seat, and she'd grab it, and she'd go put it on the Hey Arnold shrine. I imagine that there are some really strange Flyers fans that are very upset that Torts is gone. And then when they get home and they part the clothes in their little closet, they've got like some pictures of him or something. And maybe they found like a beard hair somewhere. Or maybe they got a piece of gum or a couple of sunflower seeds he spat out at like the carnival or something. They add it to their little shrine. I don't know. I'm just saying like there's a possibility. Non-zero chance. Anyway, Michkov is going to make an actual run here at the Calder. Whether or not he'll get it, I do not know. But it's kind of a mess.